afternoon!
Good evening.
I should probably hold this.
That'll probably help.
I'm not used to holding it. That's what she said. Good afternoon, welcome to TGS Live. I'm John Brown. He's Keith Souch. And he's Keith Souch. And our special guest this week, on the roofs!
Ian Jeans.
Ian Jeans is here.
Or John Brown.
Or John Brown. I'm John Brown, he's John Brown, and he's John Brown.
I'm not John Brown.
Ian Jeans, Keith Souch, John Brown. Now that we've got that out of the way, good afternoon and welcome.
Hi.
How's things, gents?
Not bad.
What news this week? What news?
What news?
What news?
There's been stuff.
There's news?
There's stuff.
Yes.
We have news? There's
Well,
stuff?
I finally got my Foo Fighters Concrete Gold. I've been counting the days and I got it.
Concrete and gold
Yeah.
on vinyl.
Yeah.
I've witnessed this greatness and it looks fantastic. Not heard it yet. How is it?
It's awesome, actually. Yeah.
Of course it is. It's Dave Grohl.
Managed to pick up In Utero for a tenner as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So good vinyl week for me.
Good vinyl week. Jeans, you back into your vinyl?
No.
No? Was that before your time?
Yeah.
It was. I forget he's a wee boy.
I resent that.
Resent what?
But wee boy. No.
I resent you telling me I was having sex with a cat earlier, but you know, we move on.
Alright, it was a kitten then.
Oh, why is that worse? It is worse, isn't it?
That is worse, yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Because they're tiny and yeah, that's just horrid. Why would you say that?
It's you.
I didn't do it. No cat sex here, my friends.
Yeah.
That's
Funnily
photos.
enough, weirdly for gaming, like we had loads of news for a couple of weeks, and this week not so much.
No, nothing popping off.
Well, you know, Destiny's still Destiny. It's still working okay. You know, it's still an improvement upon the first one.
You haven't found anything broken yet.
Pre-ordered Shadow of War, like Middle Earth Shadow of War.
Oh, is that one with a really brutally awesome trailer?
Yeah, generally, yeah, I imagine so. You know me. I just bought it on the basis of the first game, which was good. And it's going to be running in native 4K. So
Okay, so it's going to be lifelike.
it will be, yeah, once the 1X has arrived.
Does Weta get involved in the games as well?
No. But Andy Serkis provided the voice of Gollum last time, so I imagine he'll probably still be doing the same
Oh, excellent.
this time.
So there'll be some involvement,
Yeah.
some officiated links.
So it
Yeah, that's
should be
cool.
pretty cool.
Jeans, are you playing Destiny?
No. I didn't bother with it. Didn't really enjoy the first one.
Still catching up with Ghost Recon.
No.
Digital Foundry tested the Xbox One X over the PS4 Pro.
Right.
And well, the graphical difference is on average around about 40% better on the Xbox One X. When it says it runs at native 4K, it runs at native 4K.
So, PS Plus?
PS Pro.
PS Pro Plus?
PS Pro is running an upscaling system,
Right.
whereas the games that are coming out for this that are 4K, like, run at native 4K. Obviously, they're running an upscaling system as well, but it's better than the upscaling system on the PS4 Pro. So everything so far Microsoft said it will do, turns out it's true, and Digital Foundry have tested the hell out of it, and that seems to be the way that's going forward.
There is
Again,
no
it's just a shame there's no
fuckery here.
major release titles for it.
So, Xbox One X is the way to go.
Yeah, because Super Lucky's
Basically.
Tale will probably look pretty, but it's not like that will be the game that everyone's going to want. And, you know, it's a cartoonish game. Cartoonish games always look great.
Jeans, is this even a choice for you?
No.
No.
There is no choice. I'm sticking with the one.
It's
you
the
know.
One X, yeah. Yeah, I think it's... What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, it's only for people, I think, really, who have the 4K capability on their television.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then it's worth it.
You're going to have to check that out.
But if you don't, then yes, it will upscale to a certain amount, and it will make your games look better than they currently do on 1080p. It will improve it, but not to the extent that you probably notice too much. But there will be differences.
What do you want? What are you pushing for? What are you hoping for? Xbox One X? You're going to go for the... I'm going to call it the PS4 Pro Plus. That's not its actual name. Are you going Sony? Are you going Microsoft? Let us know. That's
Again, it
Open the
comes
debate.
down to where the games are. Currently, PlayStation have that one. They really do. I've said it before. I mean, look at that lineup that's coming. You know, Last of Us 2 will be in the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's
We've
the
got
thing, isn't it?
Spider-Man, we've got
That's
God of War.
and this is what makes it
Like-
difficult because Xbox One X is clearly the better choice as a machine, but in terms of content, Sony have got the edge.
I mean, maybe in a year's time, the Xbox One X will probably become a more essential piece of equipment for gamers, and by then, hopefully, it will have dropped down in price for you as well. I mainly want it for the 4K capability, not just for the games, but for the Blu-ray as well. You know, so a 4K Blu-ray player still costs you £400 now.
Yeah, well.
So £450 for an Xbox One X, it really doesn't seem that much of a choice for me, because then I can get the best of both worlds. So
Yeah,
why not?
that's
If you
definitely...
just want a 4K Blu-ray player, then you can pick up the Xbox One S for like what, £200 now. So 215, which is, you know, a bargain.
Reasonably.
If you only want the Blu-ray player, just buy that, like, and then you get a free Xbox with it. You get a free games console. You know, so
That has free games with it once a month.
yeah, and obviously streaming services are now providing UHD and 4K programming as well. So now is the time to really have something that's going to push that stuff out. But you find most of your 4K TVs allow you to stream that anyway straight away natively through some kind of app on your television.
We're not that far off launch now, are we, either?
No, about
What, 6 weeks? There we go. So even I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about 6 weeks away from launch. So everybody's getting pretty
the big
excited.
Release, the big release, again, we talked about it in depth last week, but the big release at the moment everybody's waiting for is South Park. Because people have been waiting for this game for a very, very long time. I mean, I've had it pre-ordered over 3 years.
Just noticed a change in Jeans' stature there.
Well, the fact of the matter is,
clearly
the
excited.
game's going to cost you £40 if you get it on disc, right? If you get a hard copy, or it's going to cost you about £50 if you get the digital. But either way, if you pre-order that now, you will get Stick of Truth with it.
Is that still active?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, pre-order it. Trust me, pre-order
Yeah,
it.
you will still get Stick of Truth with it as well.
What a marvellous game that is.
A weird thing to say, a HD version of Stick of Truth. Let's face it, fucking South Park, it looks a certain way. It doesn't matter how much you HD up, it's not going to make much of a fucking difference. But you will get the HD version of Stick of Truth, which is going to be well worth playing again.
It's crudely drawn
Especially
animation.
as if what I'm led to believe is correct, all the features that were banned before have made it through the censorship now.
That sounds fun.
So lots of anal probing for everyone to enjoy.
There's anal probing?
Yeah.
Jeans, you're in, mate. You're sorted.
Well,
Anal probing, you're
the
there,
anal probing
man.
was
drunk streams, here we come.
was covered with the European flag the first time round over here.
Oh, you haven't heard that conversation yet, have you?
Which conversation?
I went drunk streaming.
You did what now?
I went drunk streaming.
On
I
your
want the
channel?
video,
Yep.
and I'm going to edit the video.
Yeah, we're gonna take that video on this channel. I'm already sold.
Yeah.
I've seen you drunk. Many funny things will happen, and I'm sure did happen.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm going to have to cut a lot of it out.
Yes.
Were there any bagels or Ghost Recon involved?
No. Well, not that I remember.
So we should stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming at some
I
point.
was drunk with him once. I can attest. This
I've
will
done
be
it many times.
this will be
good
interesting.
times.
This will be interesting. All right, yeah, we'll work on that
Yeah,
then.
we'll look
Release
into
the footage.
Why is it when you're wearing a white t-shirt suddenly you start dribbling anything you're drinking? I haven't dropped anything yet, but I came close then.
It's the law of white t-shirts
Yeah.
that you must dribble something down
Yeah,
it.
if you wear like a fucking white shirt or white t-shirt and you sit down for like a roast or spaghetti bolognese, you know you're getting gravy of
Yeah,
some kind on that shit.
yeah, you damn right. That's,
Any other time you eat
yeah.
like a fucking normal human being and everything's fine.
John, there was a DJ I used to work with that that on the way to a gig, every time, if he didn't dribble his, Burger King or whatever roadside delicatessen was available, if he didn't spill it down his shirt, he considered it a bad omen that his gig was going to go badly. Because he would always spill something down the front of him, tragically, before a gig, and then... But it became a lucky charm, like an OCD, like he had to, like, oh shit, I need to get some ketchup down me or some shit, because otherwise, it's going to be bad luck. So that was the thing.
South Park returned to television this week as well.
And I'm guessing more Black Mirror behaviour?
Yeah, this again they were making commentary on rednecks and how they give all white people a bad name. Like all the racism.
Is this anything to do with the social commentary about neo-Nazis?
They do it by saying like Randy started this TV program like white people who renovate houses. So every time they say that like the racist rednecks are giving them a bad name. They say like white people who renovate houses. They're not just, but what they're saying is white people are getting a bad name because of all the shit that a few are doing. So we're not all like those assholes.
We covered this in great detail last week, but it is interesting social commentary.
Yeah, oh definitely.
It's their view on things, and they're usually right on point, and
It's
that's
back
what
to being
upsets legal people.
It's back to being a self-contained episode as well. Like the arcs of the last 2 seasons have gone. There's still a couple of throwbacks in from there, like Cartman's relationship, and he's ignoring his girlfriend because he thinks she's nagging at him. So yeah, it's kind of funny, but generally it's going back to a self-contained episode, which is nice because as good as the arcs were, like I think people just preferred the 20-minute South Park episode that you can stick on and just sort of enjoy and go, that's what they mean,
and be amused by,
yeah,
like Black Friday bundler.
Kill me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So I'm half expecting within the next couple of weeks there will be an episode that will tie in the new game.
That'd be interesting.
They did before.
Yeah,
that
would be
a
interesting.
2-episode arc that led into the Stick of Truth,
which was a prequel, wasn't it, to the game storyline?
Yeah.
I remember you showed me those actually. Yeah, actually we watched those, didn't we? Before, and then you showed me the game.
I think we're pretty much guaranteed a superhero episode coming up. So.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this game. I mean, is that the between now and Christmas? Is that the big game? What else is there?
There's your usual stuff. Your CODs.
Our resident COD expert is in the building.
We got Forza for the Xbox One X. Generally, all your usual suspects. Your Assassin's Creed's back this year, which we're looking forward to.
Yeah, we are.
Because it's been weird to have a year without a Creed, so we're looking forward to seeing the jumps they've made there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying it should always be every year, because it shouldn't. I think every 2 years is fine. Do a better job. Quality over quantity.
My wallet's already crying at me, telling me that he's got moths in it already. Like, imagine what it's going to be like after the end of the year.
Well, what are your thoughts on COD? Because COD went a bit weird.
It looks good now.
It looked
good anyway, but it's gone back to
World
basics.
War II, isn't it?
Yeah, it's World War II.
Back to roots.
Back to boots on the ground. It does look very good. I haven't actually played any yet, unfortunately, because I forgot to pre-order it.
So you didn't get the beta.
So I didn't get to play the beta. But through watching some people, it looks very good.
I've heard good things, but everyone says good things about COD until it comes out.
Oh yeah,
so we don't know
that's
yet.
That's
really.
COD. Like,
yeah,
but at least it's not pretending to be Halo or Titanfall this time around.
Yeah,
no.
They can't away from that now.
Gone back to its own unique identity, which is, I'm not the greatest fan of it, but I understand that there's a huge marketplace for it, and people like yourself that love it and support it, and yeah, by the sounds of things, it's back on track.
I mean, first 2 Modern Warfares and the first 2 Black Ops. I mean, in recent years there have been good CODs. It's just a shame that out of the 10 there've been, only 4 have been really good. It's
interesting.
It is. It's a real shame. A real shame.
Interesting.
Now, what they should have done was what they were going to do is Modern Warfare was going to step away from the Call of Duty name, and they were going to just become Modern Warfare. Because Modern Warfare was Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4,
Yeah.
And so it was supposed to be out on its own. They shrunk that Call of Duty logo down to about that, didn't they? And then by the time the third one came back out, there it was again, big fat Call of Duty. But they should have done that, stepped away, and then you could have had the old ones and still pushed out a futuristic thing, because people want Call of Duty. Once they started pushing way to the future, and I think Black Ops 2 just got away with it. But I think after that, people were like, now you're taking the piss. Like, this is no longer recognisable.
Yeah.
Of the product that we're into.
What is the best Call of Duty?
You can't answer that.
Well, I would say Black Ops.
There you go.
Or World
Straight
War.
answer.
Or
you can't answer.
If I had to pick only one to play,
Desert Island Call of Duty.
Mine would be
Desert
Black
Island
Ops
Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, see, mine would be. See, Black Ops 2 for me only doesn't come in because I really didn't like the fucking what do you call it? The Fortress stuff. Where
To be honest, I don't remember the campaign. I was playing so much online on it.
Yeah, in the campaign at some point, then you got to do like a protect the fortress, like a tower fucking defense bit,
Fair enough.
and it's like, I don't want no fucking tower defense in Call of Duty. If I'd buy a fucking tower defense game. I don't need you to push this upon me. Like, so But the story was good, and I love the fact that the story like starts in World at War and then moves all the way through. I mean, essentially, World at War is a Black Ops prequel by this point.
It is, yeah.
You know, so if you want the complete Black Ops story, you've got to have 4 games and start with World at War and then make your way through. Unfortunately, end at Black Ops 3. This just isn't as good as 1 or 2.
No, Black Ops 3 wasn't as great.
And I think because a game that does primarily exist online as hardcore multiplayer, it is a shame that people just kept going back to the old games.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Like, they're still playing Black Ops 3 now. Like, no one's playing Advanced Warfare or...
Infinite Warfare, yeah. Absolutely no one's playing it.
Zombies.
Yeah, empty servers. So, yeah, there's a good chance you could become the best at that right now if you start playing. Just throughout a default, you know, so... But another thing that's failed recently as well is Lawbreakers is failing. Like Cliffy B's game. The guy that gave us fucking Gears of War.
Oh, really? Right, I didn't know anything about Lawbreakers.
He made a game which I think if he got it out last year, probably would have been hugely successful. But in a world where Overwatch exists, it's killed off. It killed off everything around it. Like Battleborn. If Overwatch hadn't have come out that same year, Battleborn might have done pretty well.
Because they had the beta a week within each other.
Yeah.
And the Overwatch beta was just miles better.
Cleaner as hell, you know. So within 3 weeks you could pick up Battleborn for a $5.
Yeah.
And I think Lawbreakers last week reported a server high of 175 people. Wow. And a server low of 15.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
That's a game that's been out for a month.
What did they do?
And Cliffy B's not pulling support, so if you're still playing, like, he is still going to update it and still going to add stuff to it. I mean, it could get itself a second life the same way Titanfall did. It could. Titanfall never had this bad a number, like, ever. And maybe the problem is that it's a PlayStation exclusive and a PC, PlayStation and PC exclusives, and PlayStation really don't like fucking playing online with other people.
No, they don't.
So you've already fucking halved your chance of people playing with you. Whereas a lot of these games these days, like Overwatch and all the rest of it, like, will just, by the end of it, they will have everybody except PlayStation playing. You know, I think Overwatch is coming to Switch as well. Oh yeah, Switch could probably pull it off because of the cel-shaded style graphics. They could probably do it.
Overwatch is a big deal, man.
It is. It's a very
big deal.
So
I called that when we played it.
Yeah.
I called it was going to be massive.
Yeah, because I remember I showed you a bunch of stuff that was coming, and you're like, well, that's the one I want to play.
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew that would be a game for you.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's now.
It looks like it's built for you.
Like everywhere.
I just
like
never
Overwatch.
got into it. It was so good to play.
Yeah.
But when it comes up on the free play weekend, you'll have a crack again. I always do as
well.
well.
Yeah.
It's the only reason it's still on my console.
Yeah.
I probably will get it at some point, but it's going to be like GTA. This game is not going to drop down in price for some time.
God. No, not at all. GTA's still going strong.
GTA's still in the top 3 selling games this week. You know, that's crazy. That's a ridiculous long life. And it's going to be that way until Red Dead. And then possibly it will still be in there then. And it will probably stay there until 6.
Red Dead's amazing. I didn't know, actually, that Westworld, the Jonathan Nolan, when he was writing Westworld, actually studied games like Grand Theft and Red Dead. Studied Rockstar games, basically, for the idea of his open world park.
That doesn't make any sense. Westworld was a movie first.
Well, no. Obviously, so
it was
they
based on the open world park. From
no. They took obviously all the movie into account, but when he was kind of researching the writing behind like the modernization of the way we interact with the world as avatars, so online gaming, and things like so open world kind of gaming. He did a lot. Apparently, he did a lot.
Have you got to the end of that yet?
Not yet. No, I'm close. I'm nearly there. I stopped to watch Tin Star.
Yeah, I got to bring that up with you because we'll talk about Tin Star as well. Actually.
Okay, all right.
Like,
are we gonna
disagree?
We're gonna disagree. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it its 4 episodes. Like.
All right. I know. Right. Okay. So no, you need to go.
Right.
It takes its time, but when it gets there.
Well, no, my big right. Stop starting with your good ending. Like, we'll get onto the timeline of that fucking thing because it's fucked. Like, the whole 1 year later, and then fucking like 15 minutes later, they're back to where they were, and like, what, 1 year earlier. Like, I don't understand the timeline there at all. How in 1 year can go by in fucking like 20 minutes. Like, like, because first of all, it opens up, and then, like, this isn't a fucking spoiler. It's the beginning of the fucking like show. Like, it's their ending, so they spoil it. So I'm fucking feeling free to do this. Like, you see someone get fucking shot. You don't know who, but someone gets fucking shot. Right? You assume that it was Roth.
Yep.
Right? That's the assumption. And then it sort of stops. And you think, oh, this is the beginning. Oh, fuck. Is this going to be some sort of supernatural fucking revenge thing?
Yep.
Which would be a damn sight cooler than what it is. Like, it would be. That would be so cool. A fucking supernatural fucking sheriff revenge thing. Fucking set in Canada would be weird. Like, nothing else has ever existed like that. That would be awesome. But no, then it goes back. And it gets to normality, everything sort of goes by. It says it's a year before, and then suddenly you're back to where you were, and it doesn't really explain how you got there. Like, they need like a line of dialogue, or again a fucking bit of line saying back to where we were before, just so you know, because otherwise, basically, in a year, all that happened is he had an argument with a fucking like woman and a guy from a fucking biker gang. And Christina Hendricks, like that's all that happened in an entire year. I was just like,
there's more. You need to keep going. There's more. It's all over the place.
I watched the fucking first episode, and like by the end of it, again, it becomes slightly interesting. I'm not going to reveal what happens at the end.
Yeah, there is.
But don't start with your fucking great ending. Like, you've spoiled it. It would have been far more interesting if everything had been a normal life.
You're not ruining anything, by the way, because that's on the trailer as well.
If everything had been a normal life, like, and everything's fine, and then it goes to shit as quickly as it did, that would have had me going, whoa! Far more than, oh, I know this fucking moment is coming because you've shown me. Like, bad filmmaking.
There's more. It gets infinitely more interesting and infinitely more in depth. And there are.
I mean, the symbolisms with the snakes and all the rest of it. Like, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. He's definitely more than he says he is. You know, there's definitely more going on. I mean, you can read the fucking blurb. Like, that isn't his real identity. We know that from the blurb, right? You look it up and it's, you know, it basically tells you that. So we know he was someone else. So he's either fucking some kind of fucking special forces or fucking something like that. I would have said criminal, but you don't fucking get put into a police fucking role if you're a criminal, unless you're just remaking Banshee. Like, which, by the way, is better than this.
But you've got to follow it through, because it is a. By the time you get to, I see where they're coming from with it. They tried to go a little bit Memento with it, and by the time you get through all 10. You will then, everything makes sense from beginning to end. And it's good. Really good.
I'm just saying,
really
shock
good.
value would have been better if they'd allowed it to be a shock value.
I agree.
The second time, it's fucking tame.
I agree.
Because then it's like, oh, it wasn't him.
I agree, but when you move past that, you know the 4-episode rule anyway, I know you're going to follow it.
I will give it 4 episodes. I could tell 3 weeks from now I could be going, I was wrong.
But it gets better.
I'm not wrong about this episode. The way they laid it out is wrong. Like, it would have sucked more people in, I think. It would have sucked me in if they hadn't have done that. And then you wouldn't have needed for that fucking confusing year to be gone by. You could have just fucking done it and everything would be fine. Everything would be great.
There is more. Keep going. There is more. Yeah, like I said,
and then there are people going, oh, it's really nice to see Christina Hendricks be a fucking bad guy. First time I saw Christina Hendricks, she was a fucking bad guy in fucking Firefly.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get 10, you get through all 10, like I said, and then it all marries up and makes sense and everything's kind of laid out. But what's interesting...
There's only 1 episode available, though, isn't there?
And then you can watch all 10.
Where?
You can watch all 10. It's on Sky.
Oh, okay. I could only find 1 episode.
It's
to watch on the TV. The others wouldn't play for some reason.
It's a Sky It's a Sky exclusive production, which is interesting. I thought it was.
Well, it's not. It's a HBO production. The Sky just got the rights to show. It's not their production. It's HBO.
It's a Sky original production. They funded it. It's all fun.
It's HBO.
It's all their money. It's a Sky original production. Because I thought it was HBO as well, so I went hunting for some information. But apparently it's not. It's not. It's funded with Sky money. It's their money and their thing.
The only thing that's interesting is it's nice to see like a side of Canada that isn't all like happy, smiley, everybody's friendly. Because yes,
which also allows for beautiful shots and good scenery, some nice backdrops
that's
as
what you
well.
want in a good story, scenery.
No, but it allows it goes. I say it takes some twists and it takes some turns, but it is utterly fantastic. But you need to see it end to end. I think. Do you know what? You might be right actually, because in terms of obviously they're not Sky funded it, Sky made it, but obviously they're not going to make it exclusive to one country. So it makes sense that they would ship it out to HBO and so it could be played in the States. That would fly. But yeah, no, they've optioned. They apparently they put money into season 1 and then optioned season 2, and it's already into production already before they even aired this one. So
I just hate that. How did we get here? Fucking thing. It's been done to death. People should fucking stop doing that.
What? Start with the end?
Yeah. Like, what's wrong with the fucking narrative, people? Like, come on. I mean, look how fucking Lost got.
Yeah.
Like, it did. Lost became the fucking ironic fucking title. You know what I mean? Because that's what its viewers were, and clearly that's what its writers were. Fuck knows where the writers were. They were all on the island as well, clearly.
Stick with it, though.
With all the fucking time jumping here, there, and everywhere. Like, it's like... You blink and you fucking miss a fucking piece of like information on the bottom. You can fucking lose people.
Yeah, that's true.
And I did not. It said 1 year earlier, and then suddenly we were back to where we began. And it's like there's no way a year passed, and there was no clear indication from that first episode. I mean, your first episode is so important. You can't fuck with people too much in your first episode.
Well,
not until the very end, and when you get to the end of that first episode, then you can just do the fucking. If they'd had that as their ending, I would have been fucking clawing at the fucking screen, like, to see the next bit. Because I saw it twice.
But they didn't need a pilot.
Didn't give a fuck.
That's the thing. They didn't need to impress with it, because a lot of the rule of episode 1, as you've just laid out there.
It's a need to fucking like.
Well, no. Often only one episode is made, and then they have to get that rest of the season.
Most people won't give it a 4-episode fucking try like I do. Most people will base something on their first episode and then go, "Nah, it's not for me." By the time the big fucking moment happened for the second time, because I'd seen it once, I didn't give a fuck the second time. Like, whereas if that had been the ending of that episode, I would have been fucking clawing my way to fucking making sure at some point, somehow, in the next 2 seconds, I got the next episode. You know? I think that's the difference.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. And the thing is, they did lead with that. The whole, if you obviously on certain networks after a certain time of night, and a few films I'd been to see theatrically, anything that carried a 15 certificate or higher, they would show you like 10 minutes of Tin Star on screen to try and bait you into obviously watching it.
You'd seen it like 100 times.
I'd seen that whole sequence. But to be honest with you, I was still intrigued by it, and that's kind of why I stuck with it.
You can sell something off the back of Tim Roth being in it. I mean, it's the reason I watch. Tim Roth's in it. Like fucking.
Tim Roth is fucking fantastic every episode.
Anybody that's good enough for Tarantino is fucking good enough for me. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Yeah. He leads this. He leads this and he steals it.
So yeah, at the moment I disagree with you. As I say, I am more than willing to admit that I could change my mind on this.
No, I agree with you. Give it all 10 episodes and then we'll talk again.
I hate it when anything does that. Like, the how did we get here motif. Like, you know, you half expect to fucking like hear the voiceover these days when you see that sort of shit.
You need to see what journey he goes on though, because you will love it. I promise you will love the journey he goes on at the very least.
The problem is, again, at the moment, the thing is it is reminding me of Banshee, which I saw all of and I loved. So it's kind of, yeah. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You discover
and I want to know now. I'm curious to know
It
how you feel at the end.
To have something like this on British television, and British television is starting to get a little bit better, unless it's the BBC.
It's just that, and to be honest, that's what we talked about it prior to me looking at it. That's what interested me in that. I thought when we talked before, we talked about Netflix, and you said for Sky, quite rightly so, it was too little, too late, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I thought Sky had. I agree with you also on the HBO thing. I thought that Sky had shipped it in from HBO and then got some sort of exclusivity deal, so that they could do an Amazon, do a Netflix, and have all 10 episodes available at once.
Well, they've done that with Game of Thrones.
But what
else? They've done it with there's quite a few, because you can only get them on Now TV or on Sky whatnot.
But it wasn't until I ploughed through all 10 episodes and did some homework that I realised that actually this was made by Sky, hence why they've got the exclusivity on it. And like I say, maybe HBO are screening it in other countries. Maybe that's a back and forth deal, because obviously Sky have got a deal with HBO.
It's probably more likely the same
Game of
deal
Thrones.
as Stars had with the BBC when they did Torchwood.
Yeah.
So it's half and half sort of thing.
Yeah, so it's just weird. It's the first time. First time I've seen.
It's like in America
that Sky had funded
Netflix,
something entirely themselves.
Netflix don't claim that Better Call Saul is a Netflix exclusive, but over here they do.
Yeah, and that's the difference. It's not an exclusive. It's an original.
Whereas and in America they claim that Derek is a Netflix exclusive, but they don't over here.
No, it's Beeb, isn't it?
It's Channel 4.
It's Channel 4, sorry.
So I figure it's probably the same deal as that.
Yeah. Just swapping in different territories.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, but I mean, way to go, Sky. They're going to put their hand in their pocket and fund original productions. Or is it too little, too late?
I think it is too little, too late. I think that Amazon and Netflix own this country now when it comes to viewing. And Netflix more so out of those two. Like, Netflix are now BBC and Amazon is now ITV.
Skip my look at that.
If you're going to make a comparison to to years past, that's now what's happened. Because everybody else is still stuck in this society law of, like, we need to lay out a day's programming. Whereas for someone like myself and Ian, like night shift workers... television is an impossibility.
Yeah.
You can't watch television because...
What is TV?
Anything that's on is on while you're working. So the only choice you've got is fucking Jeremy Kyle and fucking shit like that all day. Like that daytime fucking, let's fucking build a house swap fucking... Like, go vacation, location. Who gives a fuck about any of that shit? That's the only choice you've got for TV. So, of course, a streaming service...
Not all day.
A streaming service is the only thing that's worth having.
Yeah.
Especially as the price of a streaming service costs you less than the price of your TV licence. And you don't need one to have the other.
Plus, we are definitely firmly in the generation of people that want everything now.
We live in a 24-hour society, so we need something that can give us what we want when we want it.
And Netflix and Amazon.
And television is just so far behind that. I mean, TV can still exist.
And even Sky, I know Sky behind in the race, but even Sky, will also try and provide a service that's what you want when you want it.
They could still, on their...
box sets.
No. They could still... Say BBC just went purely like an online app, right? They could still run programming throughout the day on that app. But everything that's on that programming is available to watch whenever you want. But there are still people that want to watch programming as it runs. Like Rooster Teeth, they've got a streaming service.
Yep.
And they run programming all day. But that programming is available whenever you want it. WWE do it as well with the network. They run programming all day, but everything on that programming is available there.
Yep.
You can watch it at your leisure, or you can say start from the beginning if it's something that's on now. That is how television needs to be.
Daytime, regular
so that way you've got
television.
The choice on the same platform. You haven't
Because
got to move somewhere else. You haven't got to find something else.
iPlayer, you can only run something once it's been run, can't you?
Well, you can still watch something generally on the iPlayer, but generally it's made for TV, and the iPlayer is a second thought, whereas it needs to be the other way round.
Stuff premieres on the iPlayer, but will be broadcast at a later date on live television.
No, not a later date. Just set a time slot for it. I think we need to get past what's the fucking 9 o'clock cut off called?
Watershed.
We need to get past Watershed. As a society, we need to understand. Like a +1 channel is no good, but a +12 channel, that might have a place in the world. You know, all right, you press a certain password to get into the +12 channel, so you can see the nighttime viewing during the day.
Yeah.
But
that's what you have to do now, anyway.
Sky and Virgin.
+1's only good if you only just miss something. Whereas, again, because a good 30% of people work night shifts in this country, that's 30% of your viewership you're losing that you stand the chance to get back if you had a +12 channel. Everything running 12 hours later.
5 do a 24, don't they? +24. So
what's the fucking point of that?
So it runs everything from.
That doesn't help people who work nights.
24 hours ago. But
that
when you're running the same shit all day anyway.
That doesn't help anyone, does it? That just means if you miss it the day before, you can watch it again. But if you're working night shifts, you get to miss it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the Sky and Virgin. That, for example, their movie channels run 24/7. You can watch all kinds of movies. You know, they'll on their sci-fi movie channel, for example, they put Aliens on at 10 o'clock in the morning. You just have to have a pin to watch it.
Movie channels are fucking pointless. Again, the streaming service have killed them dead. There's no point in paying out for a fucking movie service when you could pay £5 a month for.
Yeah, I think it's like
and if you only
30
want kids
quid at the moment, isn't it?
Kids programs,
it's
you've
really
got kids
expensive.
stuff on that, or you can just fucking get Disney Life and like not have to worry about anything.
Disney Life. Gotta love Disney Life.
Again, but the problem is with all these streaming services is eventually there's going to be one for the BBC, one for the ITV. It's just going to become too expensive. But the BBC one would be interesting.
Why would it? What, EastEnders all day long?
Yeah, but that's... say they got rid of the TV licence, yeah? And charged you £10 a month for a BBC service.
Yep.
Right? Which provides your TV, but also their entire back catalogue. Think about it.
Everything they've ever made ever.
Everything
An
they've
A
ever
to
made
Z
ever.
fucking list.
So that's stuff that BBC have put out over the years.
All the Top Gear.
All the Top Gear.
Only
all
Fools.
The Top Gear.
Only Fools and Horses. Monty Python.
Faulty.
Faulty
Towers.
That,
All the good
that
stuff.
becomes worth your money. Right? Because from the beginning of time, BBC have made some great programming. It's only
All
been
the
the
Doctor
last
Who.
10 years where it's been
Doctor
bollocks.
Who.
Exactly.
Being the primary.
People would pay for that. I think they would. And they would feel like they're getting value for their money. And
They need to do that with ITV then, because there's a lot of kids programs that I miss watching. Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers is a kids program.
It wasn't actually a kids program. It was like 5 in the morning, but still.
yeah, what's it? The Roughnecks, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was-
Rico's Roughnecks.
yeah, that was good.
It was
Wow.
really good. They did that. 2 seasons.
Ruben was a big fan of that as well. Like, I bet if he's watching, he's going, "Oh yeah, I remember that." He had like them on DVD or some shit. if I remember
I
correctly.
used to go to the corner shop around where you used to live,
Yeah.
and I used to pick up every weekend. I used to pick up the same DVD, just watch it.
yeah. Ruben loved the Roughnecks.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was it was quality.
Original Boy-Boys from Mars.
So yeah, that's how you could fix TV, and that way they get more money because more people would pay for it, and then
Willingly want it
also
as well.
because it's a service, you could then charge overseas for it as well. So then you've got America paying
Well,
all
what
the
about the
fucking
sports
TV
channels?
license and all the rest of it.
What about the sports channels?
What on Sky?
Yeah.
Just give it all to BBC.
BT Sport. They've got that covered now.
And then you can just buy fucking
Yeah, they're
BT
bloody
box.
expensive though.
Yeah, but they're expensive anyway. So, like, why not? I don't understand why it's so fucking expensive, but it is. But there we go. Just give it to them. Like, but yeah, if you had a BBC service, then you could go to America and charge for it. You put it in Australia and charge for it. Where at the moment we're the only ones paying the fucking TV license. Americans don't have to pay a TV license to watch BBC. It's a free channel over there.
Yep.
BBC America. Right, so then you can
Yeah, I'll
charge
just
for
let
it.
you let that sink in for a little minute there, Jeans.
Right, so how many people around the world do you think would sign up for a service like that? Like, at the moment, British television is huge in the States.
Yeah, really huge.
Like stuff like Only Fools and Horses and Monty Python has always been huge over there. Doctor Who is huge over there.
You
So, you know, so
you see that documentary that's running at the moment on Gold? David Jason, My Life on Screen.
no
It's really good. It's a 3-part documentary. You'll really like.
Yeah?
You'll really enjoy it. Yeah, you'll like it.
porridge. Oh, fucking porridge again. You know what I mean? It's people would pay for this service, and then BBC would get an influx of fucking money. It would save the BBC, and then they could fucking also start making really, really quality programming. You know, they need to stop looking at fucking TV ratings. TV
Kill
ratings
Dave.
means fuck all anymore.
And the Great British fucked off.
But it would kill Dave.
Yeah, but Dave's getting really good programming of its own now.
Yeah, it's got its own original content.
Yeah.
They've rerun all
As
the
far
top
as I'm
tiers,
concerned,
they've
they've got-
rerun all the...
Because Gold is BBC anyway, isn't it? UK Gold is BBC own channel.
I don't know.
Or it's
You're
partially, I think.
But,
you lose me there.
yeah, no, because like as far as I'm concerned, the best thing on British television at the moment is Taskmaster, and that's Dave. Like, that's fucking great.
That's their original IP. So.
Yeah. First episode of that was on this week for the 5th season, and it was funny as balls. Like, I don't think I've ever laughed quite so hard as like in the history of Taskmaster as I did in this one. Like, it fucking killed me.
Greg Davis.
They've got Bob Mortimer on there this season.
Oh, well, they were sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Ashlyn B, Mark Watson. I can't think of her name. She was in Smack the Pony and things like that. It's going to annoy me. It's like Susan Palmer or something like that. Oh, fuck's sake. And
She good, yeah.
and Nish Kumar, who some people find funny, I don't find him funny. But, you know, fucking hell, it was funny. It was really, really funny. I was choking. It was so good. Can't wait for that second episode.
That's what she said.
Oh, God, it was good.
Good.
Yeah.
But see, watch Dave.
So what's been happening movie-wise?
Mother came out this week.
Oh, right.
American Assassin came out this week, which I didn't see, but Ruben did.
Yeah.
He tells me it's very good. So there you go. Mother is... I'm not going to elaborate on whatsoever, because I think the best way, really, for you to experience Mother is to know absolutely nothing about it, because it's an Aronofsky film. And Darren Aronofsky, traditionally, is just out there, man. It's Jennifer Lawrence.
Speaking of, I've got to talk about something about her in a second.
Jennifer Lawrence, Javier Bardem, Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's some awesomely fucked up shit. Is the best way to describe that, but in a positive and endearing way. I have never seen so many fives thrown at a film in such quick succession in a while. Actually, like just 1 minute there was nothing, next minute all the 5-star ratings. Apparently, it is
Baby Driver, that one I'm not going to do.
not this quickly. Like Baby Driver, then they 5s built up over time, like through a press tour. Mother, nothing, overnight 5s. Like apparently, many are calling it the magnum opus of Darren Aronofsky. His finest work.
Really?
His peak masterpiece.
And
None of these words are mine.
and they've seen Requiem for a Dream, yeah?
Which is outstanding.
Like,
Like, people are still buying Clint Mansell's score from that movie, aren't they?
yeah, like
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream is still his best work.
There you go. Apparently, Mother is the contender. So
Well,
that's
that
kind
has
of
me intrigued.
that's kind of punching, like, knocking out every score right now.
Jennifer Lawrence.
But American Assassin obviously also came out this week.
Do you think that she's just made what was going to be the Black Widow movie?
Oh yeah, I saw something about this actually.
She's in a film called Red Sparrow,
Right.
which is about a Russian assassin, female assassin.
Yep.
Like, she's a dancer,
Yep.
and defects.
I do believe that's the origin story of Marvel's Black Widow.
Black, red, widow, sparrow. Taking a colour and an animal. It's...
I knew nothing about Red Sparrow. Do elaborate.
I just did.
That's it. That's what you know.
That's what I know. It's a bit odd, isn't it? Like, do you think this script might have been written for Marvel?
And then was rejected?
It's quite possible, and I think they just changed the fucking names. Like, it's so close a name that it has to be connected, and the story is so close that it has to be connected.
This
surely.
is not uncommon behaviour. Look at Stallone's Cobra.
Yeah. Is it? Is it weird that Marvel will probably be the last people to make a Black Widow movie? I know they've got the Captain Marvel coming out, but after the success of Wonder Woman, this should be the fucking time that they should have fucking been on that. They should have been on it.
Wonder Woman 2's been approved, by the way.
Yeah. Penny got more money, so That's good. Apparently, Whedon was fighting in her corner as well for her to get more money.
Yeah,
He started dragging his feet until it happened.
What? This is the thing, isn't Jeff Johns, Josh, and Patty Jenkins now like the ruling council over the DCEU?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty.
She deserved to
straightforward.
get more money. I mean, basically, she's been the most profitable out of the directors so far in the DCEU, so why not give her more money?
They're suggesting that Matthew Vaughn direct Man of Steel 2.
I'm suggesting that's a good idea.
I was suggesting it's a very good idea.
I don't care as long as I don't go into this destroy the whole world scenario that
No,
they
no.
always
Matt Vaughn won't do that, though.
Gone, it
Good.
won't happen.
Matthew Vaughn,
I'll go back to watching it.
he of Kick-Ass and Kingsman, which is out next week, by the way.
Kick-Ass is up there.
Yeah, and X-Men First Class. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do good stuff. X-Men First Class is clearly the better of those three people.
I mean, this is Matthew Vaughn. If he doesn't think it's going to work,
He won't do it.
fucking leave it. He'll go,
Yeah.
look, X-Men Last Stand. This is the script? Really? This is the script you want me to run with? This is you can fuck off. Like, come back to me when you've got a good script, because this one's not going to work. And, you know, look at the difference between Last Stand and First Class.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, and he's mates with Mark Millar, so that always helps.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I also think they should just call it fucking Superman.
I think Matt Vaughn's ready for a Superman movie. I think he's proved himself many times
It
over.
should be Man of Steel 2. Enough of this dancing around fucking titles. Let's call them what they are, shall we? You know?
I think it'd be good. I think DC.
It's just DC going, oh fucking hell, Nolan didn't call it Batman. That's what he did. He called the first one Batman.
Well, actually, he didn't want to call any of them Batman.
No,
he wanted to call
the
them.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he
the
wanted
first
to call
one was
him
supposed to be called Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But they were like, no. And now they're like, oh, we can't call it Superman. That's too on the nose. What? Because fucking Superman's in it. Do you think seeing
The
Superman
very
will fucking
same-
make people think Superman's in it?
The very same people that said they had to call it Batman are now saying, oh, I can't just call it Superman. Because that didn't work for you with Batman Begins at all, did it? No.
And the thing is,
Bounce my head off the table one of these
we-
days.
because like,
They need to bounce
it's-
their head off tables.
it
Yeah.
is the most unfortunate thing in the fucking world. The reasons why Snyder has left.
It is.
Right? Absolutely, it is like a terrible, terrible thing that nobody should ever have to go through.
Ever.
But this does mean we might start seeing colours in the movies now that he's not running things. We might start seeing a bit of levity. There won't just be unnecessary fucking topless muscle shots with people having sex, which is just fucking something that Snyder does. Like, through all his movies. He loves a fucking, like, topless muscle man, like, in his movies. I mean, the whole Martha thing is based on the fact that he lost his mum at an early age. This is something that he puts in a lot of his stuff, you know. It's all of this stuff will be gone, right? And for the benefit, I'm afraid, for this section of movies, because at the moment it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I mean, Whedon's currently going through
They're
all
all
kinds
connected,
of things
but
with
they feel
Justice League.
so disjointed.
Yeah.
Like, at no way, shape, and form does Man of Steel feel connected to Batman vs Superman.
No.
And in no way,
Man of Steel's the better movie out of those two.
yeah, and in no way do they feel connected to Suicide Squad, or do Suicide Squad or any of that lot feel connected to fucking
Whereas Marvel's stuff
Wonder
is
Woman.
all interconnected.
yeah,
And everything is connected.
yeah,
Everything.
everything. Like you can see it.
Netflix is connected to Agents. The Agents of Shield stuff was obviously network broadcast television, and that's connected to the Netflix stuff, which is connected to the movies, and everything's.
And
the
it's going
same
to feel
universe.
even more the same once Thor Ragnarok drops, because Ragnarok's going to fucking breach the fucking gap between fucking the Earth realm and the fucking cosmic shit.
Yep.
Like, it's going to do that.
We've got, and then we've got Guardians turning up in Infinity War. We've got everyone turning up in Infinity War, to be honest.
Except for Fantastic Four.
That still might be a thing.
That's up in the air still.
Do you know what? I'm not against the idea that there's a lot of cloak and dagger going on.
The Skrulls are coming.
There's cloak and dagger going on, and they're just
Belongs
going
to the Fantastic Four universe.
I honestly
That's quite
think
out there.
that,
Yeah.
right. Let me just throw my hat in the ring here. I honestly think the Fantastic Four thing is a thing, and it's playing, and they're not going to keep that a best kept secret until you see
I
it.
watched Fantastic Four Stick.
Fantastic Four stick. Yeah. Okay.
I finally watched it. I watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Like, I meant to bring this up last week.
Okay.
Right. How do you give minus stars? Like, it's a fucking pile of shit. Like, I'm hoping that isn't the movie he made.
No, it's not the movie he made.
Right?
No.
But it's a fucking disjointed pile of shit that doesn't resemble anything ever.
Yeah, but he's distanced
Like-
himself from it because it's not his. He said it's not his.
Oh, it makes Fantastic Four Rise of Silver Surfer look like fucking Citizen Kane. Like The Godfather Part 2. Empire Strikes Back. You know what I mean? Like, fucking hell. God, this movie was shit. Like,
I don't think it's.
I literally had to force myself through to the end.
I don't think it's the movie he turned in. I think the movie. That's the movie he
The
turned
movie
in.
he turded out.
No, it's the movie. No, this is widely reported that what he wanted to make and what he ended up making because he was told to were two very, very different things.
I think you gave it a 2, and that seems really generous. Did someone give you a hand job the whole way through the movie? Like,
No, because
there's some Fox exec just going, "You will fucking like this movie. Go on."
Do you remember receiving a box full of prizes?
They need to. They need.
I wasn't influenced by that.
God.
I would have given it more than a 2 if I was that easily influenced.
They need to give that one back. If don't, I know the X-Men's working.
I
I'd love to
just
see
think-
the X-Men back in Marvel.
I
know
think
it's
there's a
working,
world. I think
but
this is a thing.
I think they need to give back Fantastic Four.
I think this is already a thing. I think they're going to be part of Infinity War, either part 1 or part 2. I think they're already in play. I think it's their best kept secret, and you're not going to know about it until that shit drops, and then you'll just go, "Fucking hell, what a reveal!" I think that's a thing.
You're probably right.
They're not going to leave them out. They're not going to go, "Do you know what? Fuck them."
What? No, they might do. They might do. They might do. We don't
Because and here's the other reason why I think this whole Fox thing has been breached already. Because
know. Well, it's not owned by Fox anyway. It's owned by Constantine Film.
the one of the villains from the Wolverine, the actor, the Japanese actor in the Wolverine, who was a villain, it was like a samurai.
Silver Samurai.
Yeah, he is now in the second part of Infinity War.
Yeah, but have they got round that the way they did Quicksilver and
I'm not sure.
like
Same
Scarlet
actor.
Witch by never calling them Quicksilver or Scarlet Witch in the Avengers?
Yeah, but the actor that was in the Wolverine playing that character is now in.
Like Wanda and Petra.
Yeah, it's not the character that's in the movie. The character's in the movie, and the actor that played him is also in the movie. So he was in the Wolverine playing that character, and he's now in Infinity War playing the same character.
We'll wait and see.
So there's every chance.
I really don't know.
I think we're going to get a surprise visit from someone. It's either going to be the Fantastic Four, or it's going to be fucking Jackman.
They can't. No. Like at this point, to put that universe in fucks it. If they reboot X-Men, then fine. But at this point, it fucks it. It jumps the shark. It's a fucking cameo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if they reboot the series and then fucking make it fit into the MCU a little bit better,
Yeah.
you don't have to reboot Deadpool for this to work. Because Deadpool is meta, and Deadpool will know it's been a reboot, and that in itself will be funny. Like, that's absolutely fine.
What's your thing about Deadpool?
He already talks about the different fucking, like, Professor X's and timelines and all the rest of it, so why the fuck wouldn't he treat it
Notice.
like a different universe?
Yeah.
Like, it's perfectly fine, like, to keep Deadpool as it was. You know, and Deadpool really doesn't need to move. Deadpool moves outside of the universes. He's a constant. He's fucking Stan Lee. You know what I mean? He can pop in and out of anything. I mean, Deadpool turns up in DC Comics every now and again for the fuck of it. You know what I mean? So it's
That one.
perfectly fine.
Yeah. There's the thing.
It's perfectly fine for Deadpool not to be rebooted and be wherever. Deadpool sits outside of the universes, but I would reboot X-Men quickly, like, because the new cast of fucking Sophie Turner, she may be great in fucking Game of Thrones, but she's fucking bollocks in like X-Men. All that cast is bollocks. I'm afraid all that young cast is terrible. I would scrap all of that. Like, they were starting to do a really good thing, and then it happened. It all became Superman fucking Returns. Like, I'm sorry, he's capable of greatness, but eventually, if he does something long enough, he fucks it. Take it away from him. give it to someone new, like restart it, because at the moment he fixed everything with
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. He repaired the timeline, and then he immediately went and fucked it again. Like, I don't get it.
Whoops.
I really don't get it.
Whoopsie daisy.
He did. He fucked it. Apocalypse was terrible, and it rehashed stuff from it made no sense. No sense. None. Not one bit.
So start over with X-Men.
Start over with X-Men.
And then you can filter it into the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, you can do that. There are plenty of people out there you could cast into this thing. I mean, you need to recast Wolverine anyway. It seems like the best time to do it, right? Unless you're going to go with
X-Force?
X-23 as Wolverine, as they did in the comics, which seems like a step too far. That's a deep cut, right? People know Wolverine as Wolverine. He is something that sells. They'll go, female Wolverine? Young teenage female Wolverine? And people aren't queuing up for that movie. Wolverine works because Wolverine's Wolverine. Like, it's a deep cut. You can't start throwing deep cuts at people. Not in the middle of what is a fucked up timeline. And you found a really good way to do X-Men, like with Logan. Like, follow suit with some of that. Like, make it a little bit grittier. Look at Legion. Legion was gritty as all fucking hell. I don't know what the fuck was going on half the time, but it was good. Like,
I never finished that.
the new series.
Dan Stevens, isn't it?
Yeah,
From Beauty and the Beast.
the new season's coming. Was it the new X-Men show? That's a Marvel and Fox crossover as well. So I'm hoping Gifted. That's what it's called.
That's
Gifted. They need to reboot. They need to. They can't just. If you start chucking in shit from the other ones, it just makes all of this really good stuff fucked up because this is connected to it. You know? At the moment, you've got yourself a really nice souffle, right? It's building up beautifully and it's filling with hot air. Injecting AIDS into it isn't going to make it any better. A, there'll be a puncture mark from the needle, and B, it's got fucking AIDS now.
Jeans?
So the other one was X-Force. That was really
Yeah, X-Force,
Get away from
X-Force is happening. Yeah.
I've read something to
Cable and Deadpool. X-Force.
Is this TV or movie?
Movie?
There's an X-Force movie.
Yeah, that's already greenlit. It's already happening pretty much straight away after.
So with
Deadpool 2.
Brolin and Reynolds and...
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So who's in X-Force?
Birdie.
Yeah.
He's the dude that looks like a giant fucking bird.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Cable, Deadpool, who
I
else?
think Domino's in there.
Domino, of course, he'll be in this Deadpool universe. Domino's in Deadpool 2, isn't she? Is that right?
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
She's the funny one because she's worked with Sabretooth as well before. When Sabretooth was a bounty hunter, that was pretty cool actually. Yeah. There's a few. The X-Force has chopped and changed a fair bit over the time, but it's set in the future. So again, it sits outside of the fucking current timelines. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
From what I remember reading, they're running with the original X-Force.
I had every single X-Force comic.
There you go.
I had every single one.
Reynolds, Brolin, what more do you want?
It's going to be great. Like, if they fucking keep it as far away as they can from X-Men. Make X-Force its own thing. You can make a fucking franchise out of it. Do it well.
Sounds like that's what they're going to do anyway.
They need to distance themselves from the old X-Men movies. Like, X-Men 1, good. X-Men 2, fantastic. Like, 3, meh. Like, fucking... Like, First Class is great, but it does fuck up a lot of stuff for the previous 3. Not quite as much as fucking Last Stand did, but it does fuck up some stuff some more. You know,
X2's still the greatest X-Men movie ever made.
Origins really fucks shit up. That's when you have, like, fucking Emma Frost as a child, 10 years after she was an adult, fucking, and Scott Summers created his own glasses before fucking Xavier created them for him. Xavier's walking even though he's already in a wheelchair. Like, before that moment, and he's bald even though he's got hair. Like, fucking 10, 20 years beforehand, depending on...
That did give us Deadpool, though.
Oh my god, it's fucking...
Really
yeah, but that was a necessary evil, because that spectacular fuck-up was what propelled Reynolds forward into
There's an entire
we need
fucking
to make this
scene
Deadpool
in that
movie.
movie put in because Reynolds they didn't listen to Reynolds. They had to add a scene where fucking his mouth was open and his head rolls and he just goes, shh. That's it. Because they sewed his mouth shut and fucking gave him adamantium swords. How the fuck did he bend his arms with adamantium swords? Wolverine's claws come to there and he can still bend it. It makes sense. But fucking swords, it's just Deadpool fucking with laser beams for eyes, you know what I mean?
It's fucking
hell.
terrible. It's terrible.
Jesus Christ.
It is terrible.
Like, and then, yeah, so then they try to repair everything with Days of Future Past. They pretty much almost manage it and then fuck it again. Like, so it needs redoing. It's become a convoluted mess. Logan stands out on its own as a fucking piece
Great
of work.
movie. Great movie.
You don't need to have seen any of the other movies to appreciate what Logan is. At all. Because
He's the Wolverine.
that's it.
It's a great film.
All you need to do is look at the comic book in his hand, which which happens in the movie, and they go, didn't happen that way. There you go. He used to be an X-Man. That's that whole thing explained. You don't need fucking, like, whatever fucking
9
number
films.
of movies it is
Yeah.
beforehand. It's all done in that one moment. It's beautiful.
Although I really like the Wolverine as well.
Yeah.
But James Mangold.
The director's cut, not the fucking...
Yeah, the director's cut. James Mangold made 2 Wolverine movies and they were fucking great.
Yeah. Give him X-Men.
Yeah, give him X-Men. Because I mean, give him. Yeah, he's great. And outside of that, I mean, Walk the Line, Johnny Cash movie, great fucking film. Yeah, he's capable, more than capable.
It's all good. Like,
Yeah, it's all very good.
X-Men's just become a convoluted piece of shit. If anyone can tell me the correct order to watch those movies, like if you do it timeline-wise, I'd be interested to know, because
There is right.
I don't think there is a correct way to watch it.
I looked this up, and even the people that, you know, there are guys out there that do blogs about correct timelines, and even they're confused as to how to properly watch that.
I can work out the Marvel timeline,
including
all TV shows.
Yep. I have it on my phone actually.
You know,
the apparently the correct apparent order.
it's I don't get it. It's a fucking mess. Leave it alone.
Hint: you should watch Captain America first.
Yeah.
Then you just get it out of the way as well, which is always good.
And then watch the ending of Captain America after you've watched fucking Peggy.
Yeah.
Agent Carter. I think it was called Peggy.
Agent Carter.
They should just called it Peggy.
I really like Agent Carter. It's a shame it only lasts 2 seasons.
Yeah, well,
it was good fun.
Watching it.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, and then people come back and they go, "Oh, it's really sad."
Inhumans.
Like, we should have supported it.
A couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, this is an interesting
People
one.
going, oh yeah, man, it's shit at the cinema. Should never have gone to the cinema.
Yeah, it took a bit of a paste in that IMAX screening.
Right. I'm again going to the 4-episode rule. People went to the cinema and watched 1 episode of a fucking 24-episode thing, and they came out going, "Well, it didn't feel like a whole story." Well, that's because 23 parts were fucking missing, asshole. It was a one-off at the fucking cinema, and the only reason it went to there is because people were going, "Oh, we were promised we could go to the cinema and see Inhumans." That's the reason they did it. It's not a movie to review. Sending a movie reviewer to review a fucking television show is not the way to do it. Like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does not look as good as fucking Thor or Guardians of the Galaxy or fucking Avengers.
Well, no, because it has less money to be spent on it for a start.
Fucking straight away, there's your fucking answer why it doesn't look as good.
Yeah, because it has a considerably smaller budget.
You know, and I don't think many people, again, Inhumans is a deep cut, which is why it's good for television. Right? Not many people are used to fucking having a main protagonist who won't speak. Right? It's not... You know what I mean? Your hero doesn't say anything, because if he does, he destroys the fucking universe. If he starts really shouting, you know what I mean? It's... People aren't used to it. They didn't know what they were getting, and they didn't get anywhere. They got a fucking percentage of what that story's going to be. A percentage. TV shows need a bit of time to fucking breathe, yeah?
Which is why the 4-episode rule exists.
Yeah, 4 episodes, if it hasn't caught you by then, fuck it off. But to say 1 episode...
Supergirl, by the way, just made it, didn't it? Just inside the end of the 4th episode, everyone was just about to go, nah, and then it went, oh, shit!
Yeah.
So even producers are aware of the 4-episode rules. It's like, shit, we got to change some shit up so people
by
will
then
stay.
they've seen ratings and they've seen like reviews and stuff, and then
That's
they
what they did with
changed it.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well.
They did, yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't start very well. They got about halfway through a season, I think, and then they changed
They
it.
had to change the whole season.
They changed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give it a go, and I think what works on TV doesn't necessarily always. I know those lines are blurring because TV these days generally is of such high quality, stuff like Game of Thrones, for example, and all the rest of it. I mean, Game of Thrones looks better than any fantasy movie of the last fucking 100 years. It does. It looks better than fucking Lord of the Rings. And The Hobbit. The Hobbit's aged incredibly in comparison to what Game of Thrones looks like.
The Hobbit's aged incredibly in comparison to what Lord of the Rings looks like.
Yeah. So it's a case of not everything is that good, but a lot more stuff on TV is becoming that good. But there is still this place for fucking slightly cheaper comic book thing where it's going to survive on length of story and was told over that amount of time. You know?
Speaking of,
they're incredibly lucky they got a fucking journey back to Earth on the first episode. You know what I mean? That, like, in the comic books, fucking for Black Bolt to go back to Earth, it just doesn't happen.
and speaking of stories and television legacies, Firefly's 15th anniversary is this week.
Let's see, that's one more year than there was episodes. Thank you, Fox. That was fun.
So yeah,
another thing you fucked up entirely.
If you guys are out buying Blu-rays in the UK, then there is a commemorative 15th anniversary Blu-ray box set, which looks quite tasty.
Don't tell me that. I've already owned it on DVD and
no,
Blu-ray. You know,
I know, but it looks beautiful. And there you go. That's
fucking anniversary box set for fucking Close Encounters. Have you seen the price of that shit? That's a fucking 80 quid box set for one movie. It's got some really nice shit in it, but Jesus Christ, 80 quid?
That's out Monday. Thank you for plugging that. It's out Monday. I think it's in cinema. I think it's in cinemas as well at the same time concurrently. So you can see it in 4K.
The bonus of it is you don't have to buy the 80 quid one, but it does for the first time come with the theatrical cut, the director's cut, the ultimate cut.
On Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray. All three cuts are available for the first time ever.
Together.
Yeah.
Which is, that in itself is worth it.
Sorry, the special edition cut, the director's cut, and...
Yeah. And it's 4K, they're all 4K Ultra HD, so...
So, like, worth checking out for that alone.
Alien Covenant's out on Blu-ray on Monday
So
as
one
well.
of them they'll go into the ship, and another one they won't. And, you know, either way, at some point, the guy's going to be playing with mashed potato.
You can also get Alien Covenant. I suggest that maybe check that out, because it's alright.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's alright.
It hurts me. At no point in that movie should you be rooting for the alien, but you are. You're thinking, kill these stupid fucks. Kill this motherfucking Ripley wannabe, and she survives, unfortunately. Spoiler alert. Because, she's not right for it at all. She's the worst leading lady in a long, long time.
Colossal's out on Blu-ray this week as well. You should probably check that out, though. That's good. There's a story about alcoholism using kaiju.
Why did they get rid of fucking Numi, man? Like, fucking...
Oh, yeah, she's gone, she.
I don't know why. She would have been great. She could have fucking easily... She did easily fit into those fucking... I mean, it's a comedy of fucking errors. Like, honestly, it's a slapstick comedy about people who slip up on blood and fucking, like, can't shoot straight and fucking deserve to die the whole way through. If you see some weird fucking hairy testicles on the ground, you don't go fucking scratch and sniff those fuckers. You know what I mean? It's... On an alien planet. Oh, this is the first time we've ever been on an alien planet. Do you think we need any breathing apparatus? No, let's just go fucking, like, bareback, shall we? And just... Like, fucking roll the dice. Oh, there's a big,
I did that on purpose. I knew what I was doing.
There's a big fucking storm. It's like, we're not supposed to be safe. Well, yeah, there's still fucking 8,000 people asleep back there, motherfucker. Like... whose lives are in it, you can't know. Just because, like, fucking 10 people are down there, but by the time you get there, there's going to be 4 people, and one of them might not be the person. Fucking, you don't risk 10 people for 8,000. No matter what Ridley Scott tells you to do. Take aliens he gave us Prometheus, which I was willing to go through, going, alright, it's be interesting to see what you can do. He sets up a mythology and then kills that mythology in a fucking pre-trailer on YouTube, and then gives you an entirely different movie that isn't connected really very well to either Prometheus or Alien. Just doubling down on Fassbender is not enough to make me go, wow.
Fassbender's fucking great, though.
He is fucking great, and fucking, like, Danny McBride is fucking awesome, steals the entire movie. Doesn't mean the dialogue he's been given isn't fucking ridiculous. And then you've got, like, well, essentially you've got a scene where fucking Fassbender's just fiddling with himself, like, and that's just fucking weird.
Literally fiddling. That's
like,
amazing.
And then you've got fucking Dr. Manhattan gets killed by fucking Smell the Cheese. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? It's like, smell the cheese. And he just goes, dickhead. Of course he deserves to die. I mean, seriously, what the fuck was going on in that movie? Like, I've thought about it a lot. There's a lot of stuff that bothers me. But the thing that bothers me the most is I really, really don't care about any of the characters except Tennessee. Like,
Fair.
I really don't care about any. They are ridiculous. They all deserve to die from the second they set foot on that planet. No.
And therein be your judgment.
Oh yeah, right, okay.
Have you seen it, James?
Right at the fucking beginning. Right
I think I lost what film we're even on about.
Alien Covenant.
Right at the fucking beginning, they're on the fucking ship, and then there's this fucking, like, solar flare storm or whatever, yeah? And the ship has the fucking sensors to detect this solar flare storm, but no one thought, why don't we hook it up to an auto-retract the fucking sail fucking program as well? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point in fucking having a fucking warning system if it doesn't kick anything off the help? The system may as well have just been straight away after the fucking thing going, well, you're fucked, well, you're fucked, well, you're fucked, instead of fucking... You know what I mean? It don't make any sense.
It's alright.
It doesn't make any sense. So, just... Oh, yes.
Mark Kermode believes it's one of the worst films of the year.
No.
Apparently. I think it's in his top 5 worst films of the year.
It's an enjoyable enough thing, and it's far more Alien than... I don't know, Alien 3, Alien 4 and Prometheus.
Last Night was also in that list.
It looks and feels like a more, even though it's a prequel, it feels more like a fucking sequel to Aliens than anything else ever did. So it looks right. The aliens look right. They're cool. They're pretty vicious looking. You see the growth of what was to what we know now. On that aspect, it's good. It's just a shame that fucking it opens more questions than it fucking answered. And these are questions that we never had originally. We just accepted there was an alien. Fucking Ridley Scott had to go, why is there an alien? We just went, there's a fucking alien. It's space. Of course there's an alien. Like, we were quite happy with that. So he presents us all these questions and then doesn't think they give us any answers. Instead he starts answering questions with questions. Which is just a dick move, Ridley. I mean... It's a dick move.
It is a dick move.
I still kind of enjoyed it, but there's so much fucking wrong with it that I hate myself a little bit for enjoying it. Like, what's wrong with me? I should have better standards.
Blade Runner's out soon.
Oh god, I'm really hoping this doesn't turn out to be fucking Alien Covenant.
No, I don't think it will.
I mean, I have fucking faith in Denny.
Yeah, he's not. He's in my opinion, my humble opinion, he's not yet made less than a 5. However,
no one's made less than a 5 until they have.
Yeah, everyone's entitled to that fuck up, aren't they? Yeah. That's human nature. But as he hasn't, in my eyes, he has an unbroken streak of 5-star movies.
Everyone's undefeated till they're not.
So I think
it's just a fact of life.
And also the fact that he's had a huge amount to do with this, and Ridley Scott's kind of been there in the background, but not in the foreground. Yeah.
Have you seen the original Blade Runner?
I would say no.
You haven't.
My problem with the
You've
movie,
never seen Blade Runner.
I don't think it's going to perform the way people think it's going to perform. I don't think there's enough of a generation that's seen Blade Runner.
Which is why Ryan Gosling's a thing.
I mean, we all saw Blade Runner when we were kids because Star Wars.
Yeah.
We went, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, we must see Blade Runner. Because basically we tried to watch anything Harrison Ford was in.
And Harrison Ford's in some sci-fi, and Harrison Ford was in Indiana Jones, and we
Now,
love
Star
that.
Wars,
Star
Star Wars made its way through the generations, same as fucking Indiana Jones did. But Blade Runner is a movie that people come to later.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, I'll agree with that.
And there is a huge amount. I think there's a huge percentage of people that just haven't seen it, so aren't that excited.
The Star Wars and Indiana Jones are things of pop culture that are just a given. But I think you have to introduce people to Blade Runner.
Look, this looks like it's a sequel. Well, I haven't seen the first, so I'm not going to see this until I've seen the first one. And then they'll see the first one and they won't get it because it takes a couple of views. Mm-hmm. And it does take a couple of views, for you to understand completely what's going on.
It won't live.
Yeah.
But then again, who does?
So it takes a few viewings before you really understand it.
Yeah, and that depends on what you're watching.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to perform the way they think it's going to perform.
I mean, from our point of view, we love it. It's a 5-star film. I love it. I think it's great. Yeah. I'll watch any edit of it and I enjoy it.
Great, awesome.
But it has the potential. It has the potential with the people that are involved, and I've mentioned this many, many times over many, many weeks on this show, that I like this crossover idea of old versus new, or old meeting new, in that, Ridley's still around, but this is very much Denise's movie. Harrison Ford's still around, but we're kind of passing over to Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I like all that stuff. I'm hearing rumours as well, unfortunately, that apparently Johan Johansson, who scores all of Denise's movies and scores them well. I mean, the Arrival soundtrack is incredible, for example. So Sicario has been replaced by Hans Zimmer. That's a rumour, so not confirmed. But I need to look into that, because that's interesting. Because I really love the idea of people coming off the back of Vangelis, who scored the original.
Yep.
And then moving. Johan Johansson, this is his wheelhouse. I was like, yeah, I could see how Vangelis and Johan Johansson could be in the same box. That would really, really work. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, apparently Zimmer's doing it.
Yeah, Zimmer could do it.
Zimmer could pull it off. Absolutely.
If he doesn't phone it in, it could be great. But that's the jip, isn't it? Because
Zimmer's incredible.
At the moment, he quite often phones it in.
He's incredible. He's amazing. I love him. But I was really excited for Johan to have this opportunity.
He's over his bound stage.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Dunkirk's his most recent thing he put out.
No bounds in there, so.
No, but then Hans. I bet even that though. I mean, to be honest, even that was Hans and Lorne Balfe and Benjamin Wallfish together. It wasn't just all Hans.
Just giving it to Balfe.
Lorne's amazing. So many good things at the moment. By the way, those. This is clever. There was some sort of thing that went down, and I still don't have the facts on this, so don't quote me. There was some sort of thing that went down with the Ghost in the Shell soundtrack. Clint Mansell was doing it, then Lorne was doing it. Then Lorne and Clint Mansell scored it together. Now, at the 11th hour, and I know this is true because I received a press release about the soundtrack and its release and the record label that was coming out on. And then when I went back into it, the soundtrack for Ghost in the Shell had completely disappeared from catalogue. It was never released, going to be released. Now, for the hardcore soundtrack junkies, this caused a massive uproar. Everybody's still going to Paramount going, please just release it, we'll buy it. Cash waiting. Paramount, still none the wiser. Paramount Music, the publishing company, still not releasing it. So what Lorne's done, quite cleverly, God love him, is he has put his cuts, the Lorne Balfe cut, because obviously Lorne Balfe and Clint Mansell, but Lorne Balfe has put the stuff that Lorne has composed on his YouTube channel and has been slowly but surely releasing 2 or 3 tracks a week on his YouTube channel.
That's cool.
Which is one of the many reasons why we love Lorne.
It's just a shame no one gives a shit about the movie.
Yeah, the score's great. How many times have I said that to you? There are times
the score improves the movie, it does not make it.
How many times we walked out of a press screening and you've said something about that movie.
John Williams' score for fucking Star Wars is amazing, but if it was just fucking like 2 hours of Theresa May skipping through a fucking wheat field, I would not have been fucking impressed. I would not have scored that movie a fucking 5-star movie just because it had the fucking Star Wars fucking soundtrack.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It isn't a compliment.
I've been in on conversations, right, with this guy, Ruben, where and where someone has sent a message and said, "Yeah, but John will love the score."
Yeah.
John will love the soundtrack, but that's it.
He gives an entire point for the score. You know, there's arguments for or against that, but
I'm the soundtrack guy though, so it kind of makes sense.
I mean, you can have a shit and listen to your fucking headphones. Shit, can't you? You're not gonna rate it. Oh, I rate that shit. You know what I mean, it's that you can get fucking punched in the bollocks whilst fucking listening to Vivaldi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this
fucking,
is
like Vivaldi's fucking awesome, but
there
fucking
are,
at the end of the day, you're being punched in the fucking bollocks.
There are cases where I've got soundtracks for movies, and the movies are fucking terrible, but the soundtracks are incredible, and they were just wasted on that movie.
Have you ever given the 0 fucking point fucking?
I have
rating?
given zeros before.
What to what?
Because
I know all of my zeros.
What have I given zeros to? Oh, last night.
Last night?
The last night. I went...
With fucking Richard Gere and fucking...
No. Transformers the last night.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking of Richard Gere. Oh, yeah, no, that is a fucking 0. Yeah.
No, that's first night.
First night, there we go.
Yeah.
See, first is
no,
better than
the last night with Transformers, I was like...
There we go, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to steadily...
that movie ain't a fucking Oscar winner, but it's not a 0.
Oh,
yeah, but no, Transformers is
that was a 0.
That's a minus.
That was 100%
Minus
a
5? That's like fucking 100% less than 100% bad. Oh, fuck's sake, that movie sucks. That's the worst movie ever.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's a 0.
Batman
Which is
Robin.
why Last Night has to be less than a 0.
Yeah, and...
Because, again, Last Night is the worst movie ever made.
What else I'm trying to...
That and Fantastic Four.
I think it gave Hitman a 0 as well.
My favourite review ever, that was from Empire. I think it was Empire. It might have been Total Film.
It was one line, wasn't it? It was less than a
This
line.
film is missing an S.
That was it. That was the review. Yeah, there were a few.
That was a good review.
I'm just trying to think of other stuff that I absolutely detest.
Half of the Resident Evil movies.
I like the third one.
I was about to say, he likes the third one. I don't get that at all, but he does. He likes it. He's always said, I like the third one.
I do like the third one.
Yeah,
not
like
much
that
time with the
Resident
others.
Evil story where they fucking spend all their time fucking walking across the desert doing Mad Max. Oh, that's right, it doesn't exist. Like, but it does. Oh look, there's a weird tunnel with fire in it in the desert. What the fuck? Walk around it. It's the fucking desert. Like,
yeah, movies you've given zeros. You given zeros to
the
movies?
desert's quite big.
Have you given a 0 to a movie?
Definitely.
Let us know.
Oh god.
Yeah, there are a few.
What's your worst film ever?
I can be quite ruthless sometimes.
Dunno.
It's the worst film ever made. What is the worst film ever made? That's a good question.
Transformers.
The Last Night. You think that's that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I really want to see The Disaster Artist.
I do actually.
And I think before we see it, we need to do a screening of The Room.
Okay, sure.
Right? Which is supposedly the worst film ever made. But when films are that bad, they become good. You know, where people are really trying. You can give a point for trying. When you were working on a no-budget fucking movie and you were trying your hardest and you put it all together yourself with your friends and all the rest of it, you should get a fucking point for effort. When you're Michael Bay and you've got all the money in the fucking world, and all the studio support in the world fucking behind you, and you make a steaming pile of shit, you need to be fucking judged on that steaming pile of shit you make. So, as crap as The Room is, and it's an hour and a half meme at this point. Like, everyone's seen fucking stuff from The Room, like whether it's Lisa, you're tearing me apart, or Hi Mark, or all of this stuff. The guy fucking made something from nothing, you know? I mean, what was the last fucking film you made? So don't judge him so fucking harshly. But when you're Michael Bay and you've got all the studio support in the fucking world, imagine what this guy might have been able to do with a fucking good budget in a cast. You know,
Is he being played by James Franco?
It's been played by James Franco.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and apparently Tommy Wiseau loves it. Like he's given it a 99.9% support. So
Amazing.
yeah, and you can see some of that stuff online with them viewed together. It's pretty amusing. Franco just can't get out of doing an impression of him once he's talking. He finds himself doing it as well, and that in itself is amusing. But yeah, I think we should do a screening of The Room before The Disaster Artist is released.
Sounds
I think it'll make us appreciate the latter more.
Yeah, and can't be worse than
And I think we should film ourselves watching it.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
We need to get started series anyway. I'm still of the opinion that we should definitely do the commentary series.
Yeah, we're going to start with Reefer Madness. Which should be great. It's a full-length movie that was basically a public service announcement, so it's completely public domain. Give it a watch if you can, or wait until we release it with our commentary over the top of it,
which we can do. Obviously, we can do other movies, but we can
fucking
only
backflips and shit because they're stoned. Which
wow.
Anyone who's ever fucking
smoked
anything knows that being stoned doesn't turn you into a crazy madman.
No, or want to do backflips. In
Or
fact,
or fucking do anything other than
order pizza.
Order a pizza and some golden biscuits.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, they basically treat fucking marijuana like it's a speedball.
Not happening.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
That's all coming
on
up.
That movie. So
I think that's us.
should be good. I think that's us.
I think that's us. Next, what's big in games next week? Anything next week? Kingsman opens this week. We'll have more on that.
I'm looking forward to that. I really want to see it. That's on my list of 4 films I want to see the rest of this year.
Yeah, that opens in the UK on Wednesday of this week coming. So I'm sure we'll
How
have
much
lots.
longer before Ragnarok?
That's in October.
October.
So you got Blade Runner 2049 at the beginning of October, and then Thor at the end of October.
I think we're going to get another Star Wars trailer in the next couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, I'm told that they're going to put a new Star Wars trailer and that Infinity War trailer that apparently no one's seen.
On Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That's sensible.
So yeah, looking forward to that. Jesus, it's a reason to go and see full Ragnarok, isn't it? You know?
Just for those 2 trailers. Yeah, so there you go. That's more on Kingsman next week, I'm sure. And many
we
other great
didn't. No,
things.
we didn't talk about fucking Abrams though, did we?
Have we got time?
We got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes.
Yeah, all right, let's squeeze it in. Go.
Right. Yeah, Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
Abrams back for fucking.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Down.
Weeks
I
ago.
don't get these people that fucking hate on fucking episode 7.
Weeks ago.
There's a lot of them, and they go, "Oh, it's just all the good bits from the first."
I do,
So
I
let's
get
just-
what
And
you're
it's
saying. I
like,
get what you're
yes,
saying.
that's right. It's all the good bits.
Yeah, but I get
let's just recap. Right, Colin Trevorrow was departed the Star Wars Episode 10 production, and
People acted like it was a big deal. The motherfucker hadn't filmed anything by this point, so he
parted ways with Lucasfilm, and they went their separate
He
ways.
didn't get on with Kathleen Kennedy.
So Abrams was brought in to finish effectively this trilogy.
Rule 1 of Lucasfilm: get on with Kathleen Kennedy. She's been around a while.
Yes. So now J.J. Abrams has been appointed to direct,
Which I said would happen.
which you said would happen because he obviously kicked the trilogy off, and now he's going to close the trilogy with, of course, Ryan Johnson or Ryan Johnson. Is it Ryan or Ryan? Ryan Johnson. There we go. Delete is applicable. Is currently directing the middle bit.
They needed a director that could fucking withstand the pressure of doing potentially the last fucking Star Wars fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, for a while, like proper
Star
main
Wars episode,
not
yeah.
spin-off, but Star Wars episode.
Yeah. 'Cause
There's
obviously
a huge amount of pressure. They need someone that could fucking do that, and Sam Spielberg would probably be the guy to do it.
Son of Spielberg. Yeah, I think so because we've got Johnson's middle part this Christmas. Following Christmas, we've got the Han Solo movie, which is now directed by Ron Howard, and the following year. The original date was May 20. Is it 2019? What are we on now? 17. So yeah, 2019 May. May the 4th be with you. Was the original date. Ooh. Abrams was appointed, and literally the same day went, yeah, we're doing, but we're moving back to Christmas 2019. Yeah. So now they're actually linear because they've all been out at Christmas.
So I think it's a good thing. Like again, people say, oh, it's the top 3, but what he also did in the fucking like best hits of fucking the first 3 is he set up a great fucking storyline. He set up like some cool stuff for the villains. He set up a nice reveal of fucking Skywalker. He set up some really cool shit that we're going to experience more in this. What I'm expecting to be the Empire back of this trilogy. It's going to be a fucking dark one. I'm positive. That's
this middle, the one that we're getting this Christmas.
From the fucking trailer, it's going to be dark as shit, and so it should be. And he set all that up whilst fucking giving us some fan service. You gave us story and fan service. What more do you want? You know. Our complaints of the fucking prequel trilogy is you are too way off base of the stuff we like. Oh, we don't like that. And then it's like, oh, you're too close to the stuff we fucking like. Basically, we're Star Wars fans and we don't like fucking nothing. We like Empire Strikes Back. That's it. Like, fucking.
Well, this is so. I was excited by this news. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And then I saw the abhorrent backlash from the internet, which was admittedly, on the whole, positive praise that Abrams is going to close the trilogy. However, there was this large cluster of people on the internet going, "Oh, it's basically going to be fucking Return of the Jedi then." Apparently, he's going to remake Return of the Jedi, according to the haters.
He already remade part of Return of the Jedi. It's in fucking
Force Awakens.
You know, episode. No, it's going to finish off the story that he set up, and I think it's a good thing. Like,
it's like when he does stuff on TV. He directs the first episode, buggers off, lets other people take over, and comes back.
Yeah.
Directs the series finale. Yeah. Same deal.
I think it's fucking great.
Same deal.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think he's the right guy for the job. I really do.
Yeah. It's not uncommon. This is the thing. People are like, oh, now he's been brought in to do this and that. It's like, this is not uncommon. They need someone that can handle the
pressure or someone who doesn't give a fuck about the pressure. Right? Because that's the only way it was going to be good. Yeah. So I said, basically, it's going to be Abrams, it's going to be the current guy fucking doing it, or it's going to be fucking James Gunn. Basically, 3 people currently in Disney's favour. You know, I'm glad it isn't Gunn because I want him to stay fucking purely Guardians and
Starsky and Hutch.
That fucking world.
And Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch.
He's doing it. No, he's doing a television series.
Oh, I'm fine with that then. Yeah, he can go as cheesy as he likes with that. That's brilliant.
And he's not do anything like the movie.
So I'm just hoping that it's gonna give us more of what we want. You know, Abrams is a fan of Star Wars first and foremost. It's why he turned it down 4 times. He turned it down because he didn't want to do it because he just wanted to watch it. You know, it's why Pegg didn't want to be in it. Simon Pegg said, "I don't want to be in the movie.
I want to enjoy the movie.
I want to enjoy the movie." So he said, "Well, I'll give you a part where you don't really see anything that's going on, and no one knows it's you." And he went, "Fine then, I get to be a voice."
Yeah,
brilliant. And he got to be in a costume. It's not CG. It looks fucking CG, but it's a costume.
There you
Crazy. Like, because he did everything. He did everything right. He gave us physical effects the whole way through. He just enhanced stuff with CG, but everything else was pretty much fucking physical. Like, and that's the way to do it. And that's what he gave us back, and that's why it just looks so much better and so much more like the first 3 than the fucking second 3, which just needed a Han Solo character, and that's all it needed. It needed that. Too many Jedi, not the fucking scoundrels. You know.
And there we go.
So yeah, J.J. Abrams is the right guy. Anyone complaining about episode 1 needs to fucking go back and watch Phantom Menace.
Worst Star Wars film ever.
Do you know what? I'm really tempted to go back and watch Phantom Menace and remind myself of how terrible it is.
I don't even think we watched it when we did our 6 episode run, did we? We did the Machete Cut, did we? Or did we watch all of them?
No, we watched all of them.
The Machete Cut.
Yeah, the Machete Cut.
The Machete Cut.
Yeah, you watched episode 4, episode 5, and then you watch episode 2, episode 3, and then episode 6. You choose.
So you watch 4 and 5.
Yeah, so you watch 2 and 3 as a flashback.
Yeah, then you watch 2 and 3
after
as
he
a flashback.
reveals he's the father. So then you get to see Vader as Skywalker, as a Jedi.
And then you watch 6 to round it out.
Yeah. So then you get him
being
made into Vader, and then him redeeming himself with Vader. It makes perfect sense as a storyline.
You drop all of the trade negotiations and most of Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can watch the original as a 5-film anthology. You don't need to watch all 6 films for it to make perfect sense. And if anything, then it gets rid of fucking midi-chlorians. It gets rid of fucking so much. And it still makes perfect narrative sense. And you still get the fucking shock value of the people watching it the first time. You get the shock of finding out who Vader is. Because that reveal means nothing in the straight narrative. But treating it as a flashback, that's great. Halfway through, it's a great shock. And then you get to see that story. It works.
Interesting. So you could start with Rogue One, I guess.
Yep, you would now start with Rogue
Yeah,
One.
now you would start with Rogue One.
No, you. Yes, yeah, you
Yeah,
would.
you
Yeah.
would, yeah.
Alright, I was
So you
still
could
thinking
start with
about
Rogue
You
One.
just start with Rogue One.
Yeah, you'd start Rogue One, then go
4.
4, 5, 2,
2,
3,
6,
6,
7.
7. Although they need read.
You could completely avoid Phantom Menace.
Yep.
Yeah, it still would work.
Even the Han Solo movie will go before Episode 4. If they end it right, it should end just as Han gets.
I like
to-
this. I'm going to give this a try.
Yeah, that's how you view it. Like, do it in a day. It makes perfect sense that way.
And on that note, I'm off. I'm going to go check that out.
Cool.
Thank you very much for watching.
Star Trek's it'll either be shit or it'll be good.
There we go.
There we go.
Moving on. Hey, thank you very much.
Like,
You
share,
know
subscribe, stuff,
what to
all
do. Yeah,
sorts of stuff.
you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm off to cut my machete.
By that he means wank on a tramp. That's what he does. He's trank wamper.
I'm a trank.
A
What?
trank wamper.
A trank wamper?
Yeah.
Is that a Star Wars
He's a
villain?
Star Wars villain.
Trank wamper.
Trank wamper. He pulls off fucking like someone. He pulls off his own arm and then wanks with it. Well, he cuts it off with a lightsaber and then wanks with it.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Always the right hand. Always the right hand.
Always the right. So Luke cuts off the fucking like arm of the fucking wamper, and then whilst he's hanging upside down, it's like a fucking inverted fucking asphyxiation thing, and he just starts wanking himself off with the wamper hand.
If you
It's
read
all
later,
furry and shit, and he's just like, yeah. It's like a fucking mink wank. It isn't snow in that cave.
No.
It's tons and tons of jism.